Hello everybody, this is a HeathKit automatic battery charger I picked up from my mother-in-law's uncle's estate years ago. I've never used it. I hadn't had a need. I needed to use it the other day and it was not working. So I cracked it open and I'll show you what I found momentarily. But for those that aren't familiar with HeathKit, they used to sell exactly that, kits of electronic devices and things like that you would get, make all the connections, install components, and have yourself a nice working device of some kind. This, of course, is the battery charger. They've sold ham radios, stereos, you name it. They had a bunch of stuff. They're kind of prior my time. This one, I can find very little information on it. This is a model number GP-1044. I found some information on another one, but it did not have the boost function. I did find one little article, and I believe this was about $75 in 1972. Now, these things were built to last. That actually is the year I was born, so I believe this thing's 45 or 46 years old. Don't even know how old I am anymore, but they're pretty cool. And on the back there's some information on how to use it. I'd really like to find the manual for it. I found one manual online and they wanted like $20 or $22 for it. It's not that important to me, but if anyone happens to have a manual for these, shoot me a line. The boost function works if you've got a dead battery or whatnot, or you want to get a jump start on the charging. You can hold it up to a minute. It'll put 50 amps out. It does a normal charge of 50 amps. This is automatic, meaning once it charges the battery up to a certain point, it will shut itself off. It may even maintain past that. I'm not real sure. Everything works now. It's got an ammeter built onto it, so you can kind of watch how things are working. Pretty cool device and super heavy, and you'll see why here in a moment. So let me get the top off here and we'll move on. Alright, I've got it opened up. Would you look at the size of that transformer? That's all the weight. It is heavy. It probably weighs about 10 or 15 pounds. There's a little circuit board over here with a series of components on it. There were a lot of cold solder joints on here, and one of these red wires simply was not even in it. And then over on this side, there's a little pinout board down here. It had 3 or 4 connections, no, two connections in here, but 4 components that it was never even soldered. So like I said, these were kits, so whoever put this thing together missed a couple connections. A little bit of solder, put that wire back, fires up, works just fine. You can't use this as just a 12-volt power supply, just to test components or whatever. It will not put out power, I guess, unless it senses a load. Then it will switch itself on. There are a couple reed switches in here that they look like reed switches. They're in glass tubes. You may have seen them before. I think that's what handles some of the stuff and regulates the charge. These are probably about 8 feet long, with 8-foot leads and maybe a 6-foot power cable. There's no provision for cord storage or management on the device. If you wrap them over the top, which is what I've been doing, it just sits on the cables down here and it doesn't really sit flat on a shelf. So what I think I'm going to do, which will also maintain its originality or its original form here, is I'm going to make up some brackets, just little L brackets that come up and bend out, I guess a C channel, that will fasten right here and right here. And then I can wrap the cords around here for storage and get them out of my way. But again, pretty cool stuff. If you guys aren't familiar with these, just kind of do a little bit of homework digging around on the web. There's all kinds of stuff. And these things were built to last, using quality components, this, that, and the other. I'm sure, unless something just catastrophic happens, this is going to outdo me and maybe even many generations beyond. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck.